Hi, well, hello. Hopefully people will start tuning in very soon. Hi deities, it is Monday and no one's here yet. Oh, someone's joined us. How lovely. Some people, hello. Hello Fish Katek. Nice to see you. Hello Landon. Hi everyone. Okay, I will just start by pinning this link. This is going to be harder than I thought. Okay guys, I'm pinning the link any minute now. Woo. Right. I'm really struggling to pin a link, guys, but give me 1 second, it's not happening. Okay, I'm going to go back to Bishi's request to join us. Okay, right, everyone, I'm just going to start by introducing this whole series and what it's about. Hi, darling.
Hi, how are you,
darling? It's so nice to see you.
I know, it's so good to see you. Okay, I'm just going to angle this. There we go.
Okay, I'm just trying to pin your link, so let me get that done.
Okay.
And then, once I've got this link pinned...
Yeah, okay, great.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Has she pinned the link?
Has she pinned it, darling?
Yes.
Pin it.
Hallelujah.
Pin it.
Okay, I'm going to start from the top because I have a script because we are professional. That's
we
what
are professionals. Oh, can I just say that I love this choker so much.
Thanks. What, the one I'm wearing? I love that beautiful crown that you're wearing.
I know.
But my love, I'm going to start from the top because I have a fabulous intro for us, which I've been rehearsing for ages. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it right now. Okay. So first of all, thank you to everyone who's tuning in. There's so many of you. Thank you so much, guys. So hi deities, it is Monday and this is the very first episode of MonDeities, which is an Insta live series with me, Ada Zanditon. I like to create what I call avant-garde spiritual kink, and by that I mean that my work is all about harnessing the power of your inner warrior deity, whether that is a god, a goddess, a non-binary spirit, whatever it is within you. I want you to channel that and put it out there in the world. And I like to create with a queer, sex, body positive, everything positive, femme perspective on fetish and BDSM. And this series will be coming to you every Monday from my account, Zanditon Couture. And I'll be reposting it on my other account, Fashion Unfucked, which is fashion unfucked, all one word, which is a separate account. A quick warning, in case you hadn't noticed, there'll definitely be some swearing and adult content during this time, so you've been warned officially.
Hi, Nairi!
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Nairi. Hi, Nairi. Sorry, I just interrupted.
Oh, yeah, please keep greeting everyone. Please keep saying hello to everyone who's tuning in. So, Bishi, I'm just going to introduce you. You are a singer, songwriter, composer, electronic rock sitarist, a producer, and a performer. And I would say that I would describe that your performances are very much like a sonic and visual immersive feast. I think that's a good way of describing what you do.
Babe, I love being described as a feast because I like to feed you all with oral and visual delights, a platter of audio and visual delights. That is
oh my god, I love this description so much.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark Wheeler. Yeah,
that is stunning. We all love that and appreciate that so much. So as you can see, with great difficulty but with ultimate panache, I have managed to pin the Spotify link to Bishi's music. So make sure that you go check out Bishi's incredible music. Thank you. Also, I just want to mention, Bishi, that you're also the founder, co-founder of WITCiH, which is the Women in Technology Creatives Hub, which is a platform that elevates women and non-binary people in tech through commissions, performances, and panels.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But before we take a deep dive into all of the incredible work that you do and your latest releases, I just wanted to start by asking you, Bishi, when I talk about the words inner warrior goddess, what do those words mean to you? And what do you do to feel centered? And what do you do to project that into the world?
So I'm very lucky in that my music practice and my discipline and my mental health all connects into the same thing. So I realized that if I wake up in the morning and I do usually a little bit of a little bit of cardio or some yoga, and then I write solidly for 2 to 3 hours in my studio, that's how I center myself. It's a little bit like the creative version of microdosing. It just opens the door into my soul, and I feel that I can cope with everything. You know, as artists, we actually have like there's quite a lot of moving plates in the background, and there's a lot of glamorous admin to be done, meetings, that kind of thing. So yeah, so music really centers me. But obviously, I love exercise. I love sex. You know, I mean, don't you all?
Yes, we love sex and exercise. Yeah. We love moving. We love. I feel like you know what that says to me. It's like I always say, we're human. We're in a body, but we're like energy from the universe, but we're encapsulated in a human form, and so we're always having both a spiritual and a physical experience.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's things like hair and makeup, and it's really a part of the ritual of what makes me feel good and what makes me feel centered and alive. Like, it's a really stressful thing for quite a lot of people, but for me, like, there's something about getting up and doing my makeup. Usually I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm listening to Lauren Laverne on Six Music. So it's one of those things, and it's really nice because sometimes I'm gluing on an eyelash and I'll write to her on Twitter and she'll give me a shout out, and it's really good.
Yes.
So, yeah, but there's something about the morning. Like, I know some people hate the morning, but I just feel that everything really opens up for me.
You're a morning goddess. I identify with that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think I'm a 24-hour one. If I didn't have to sleep, then that would be perfect, because I could get so much stuff done. But obviously, sleep is important for repair and for many other things.
This is true. I actually find that I have to sleep. So I find now definitely that it's sort of like, I know that if someone asks me to do something that's late, then it's not going to happen, because there's a certain point in the evening around 10:30, 11, where the shutters of like just come down, and she's no longer in the building. She looks cute, but she's not here.
Yeah, or I think if I am doing something where I'm getting to the club at midnight, and there has to be like an adequate disco nap.
Oh yes, I was just about to say, the disco nap is everything.
The disco nap and some shots and some dancing around the room. And you have to really, it's another very like it's another very ritualistic thing where you've got to really prep yourself up for a full night out. Oh my God, Dr. Rox and Morwenna have joined.
Hi, hello everyone.
Yeah.
I feel like I should press the wave button, except I'm so bad at pressing buttons that I'm too afraid to do it in case I end our conversation accidentally.
Also,
even during lockdown, I'm gluing these things from the internet to the end of my fingertips because I can't bear to be without them.
That's so impressive. And someone called Grumpy Pebble just joined. I don't know who that is, but that is a really good Instagram name.
I love that. Thanks so much, everyone. Let me scroll down. I don't know if I'm seeing. Oh, wow, there's so many comments. Hi, everyone. Wow, there's so many people in here. It's crazy.
I hope everyone's enjoying their bank holiday Monday.
Oh, yeah, I do. Especially as it's not the usual Monday. So I really hope everyone's enjoying it. And
it's not Monday, it's a MonDeity.
It's a MonDeity. We're not having a normal Monday. We're having a spiritual Monday. Yeah. So the next question I wanted to ask you, I mean, you're definitely, like you were talking about how glamour is something that makes you feel connected and alive. And yeah, I wondered if you could talk a bit more about why glamour and fashion, like what role they play in your creativity and also in the way that you present yourself when you perform.
Yeah. So when I write music, I very often get visuals. I get ideas for videos. I get very much a very visual connection. I mean, yeah, when you know, when I think of a music project, I will immediately think of the visuals, the look, what I'm going to be wearing. I see all these art forms as being interdisciplinary. And I'm always inspired by people who think in a really interdisciplinary way. I'm currently reading Paul Gorman's really brilliant biography on Malcolm McLaren, and there are people, and they think like all the projects that they do, they just think of all of the angles. It's not just about the art form. It's also about the philosophy, the politics, the spirituality, you know, how things look, how things sound, how you know, how you talk about something.
It's a fully immersive experience.
Fully immersive. But when I write music, I see a lot of visuals. I see what I want this to look like and how I want to present this. And it's something called synesthesia, which actually Lorde made very famous, because apparently Lorde gets the same thing. But then everyone goes on about having synesthesia. You know, then it just got a bit too trendy to be like, I have synesthesia when I write music.
I see blue when it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
But synesthesia in a really meaningful way.
Really, really meaningful. And I'm sure, and like, no shade to Lorde because I love her, but you know when a pop star says something and then it's like everyone starts saying that and it just gets really annoying. But I do, you know, I do get ideas for visuals and for stage shows and for films and
But then, so when you have that visual idea, do you sketch it? How do you hold on to it until the point it becomes created?
Yeah, I'm really bad at drawing, even though I'd actually like to maybe go on a course and just sort of get better at it. But I read a lot of magazines, I surf the internet a lot, I'm very good at keeping mood boards and at creating mood boards. So when I go to a designer, I work with some audiovisual people called Output Arts. When I'm working with them, I would have presented them with mood boards of everything I like, with colours. And then what's really exciting about working with either like a fashion designer such as yourself is you have an idea for something and then all of a sudden they'll bring you something back that's so amazing and that it will be even better than what I imagined, because they're the visuals person. So with a fashion person, they will think about how garments all connect. You know, they will think about how a piece works as a fully sort of 4D piece of machinery almost. When I'm working with people who do live coding and who do visuals, they'll be thinking about how you get all the parts to move, how you get things to create movement around a performer. And sometimes within the minutiae, my brain goes to sleep, because I know that the person that I'm collaborating with, or the person that I've commissioned with, just knows so much better than me, that it's just totally gorgeous. You know, it's just totally gorgeous. Can I just say that 2 people have just joined this? So Grace Monaco Music, who was interviewing me earlier for a podcast. Everyone go and check out. Rhiannon Styles has just joined. Amazing.
Hi.
I saw Cheddar Gorgeous in the comments.
I know. Hi, Cheddar.
It's like amazing people joining this Instagram live.
I'm so sorry. Every time I lean forward, the sun like hits my face, and like really crazy. But I'm trying to lean forward and wave at all of you beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful people who are joining us. Thank you so much.
Yes. When I collaborate with a visuals person, they would have taken my ideas 10 notches up, and in a way.
And how does it feel? Like, so when you're standing on stage, so let me paint a picture for everyone. So Bishi is on stage and she's just it's projections. So you have these incredible visuals projected onto you, all this light beamed around you, and whatever you're wearing will usually interact with that whole performance. What does it feel like? Because I know what it looks like to watch you, but what does it feel like to be in it?
You know, it feels absolutely amazing, because when I rehearse for a show, I will rehearse until I'm blue in the face, so that when I'm on stage, I can completely let go. But it's because I go in between my sitar, my Ableton Push, and sort of various other instruments. One of the things that I rehearse is what order I put things down and kind of what order I press buttons in, because that's as much a part of the art as actually singing or being able to perform. You know, there are lots of fantastic people who, you know, especially electronic musicians, but they do very often look down at their push, they look down at their synths, whereas I want to project out to people. So I just rehearse until I'm blue in the face. I mean, you know, it can be quite emotionally draining in the weeks following leading up to a really big performance. Yeah, because if I'm not rehearsing like really intensely, then I'm inviting people and I'm sort of reaching out to people. But I get to a point where, I will just be able to let go. And I'm so happy when I do these performances and you know, the preparation that goes into things. It's like, I'm so happy to be there. I'm so happy that people have turned up. I work with some extraordinary people on my team. I have, people who are friends and who not only are artistic collaborators, but they're actual friends, and they've got such good energy that it just feels amazing, you know, and it feels amazing it just feels so satisfying to put this stuff together and to present it to people, and to know that there are people in an audience that I love so much. There's something that it's so painful, but it's so satisfying. So I feel pretty amazing when I'm on there.
Yeah, I love how you said it feels so painful, but it feels amazing, because I very much identify with that. Like when you're putting any kind of something that will be seen by an audience together, whether that's you on stage or a fashion show, that's what I'm more familiar with. It is painful. Like there's so many different bits that have to come together, and I have to close. Excuse me.
Thank you, Mark Wheeler. Also, I see you, Craig Lawrence.
My life.
I see you, Craigie Lawrence. I know you're on here.
Let's try this. How's this? Is this any better? Oh, slightly better. I spent so much time setting up the lighting, and now I'm just like...
Look, everyone, my kombucha matches my dress. Hiya, Craig Lawrence.
She's so different now. We've gone into romantic mood lighting.
Look, my kombucha and my dress match.
That looks delicious. I have my exciting glass of water.
Glass of water,
water.
You're looking like a drink of water, Ada.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well. Woo.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've lost my place. I was like, we were all with it. We were in our feelings and our glamour, talking about live performances. But yes, painful, because it is painful. But that pain is worth, the payoff is worth the pain. The payoff of people being inspired, realizing your vision in front of people, it's worth the pain of doing it all.
Absolutely. Yeah. Completely. And we all know that even after the show, even after the big presentation, you know, there's a big period of coming down, of renewal, of just being exhausted. You're usually, I don't know about you, but in the lead up to a show, you're either not eating or you're eating really weird things at really weird times. I remember there was one festival that I curated for WITCiH, and I told everyone, I just said, tomorrow morning, I'm going to get a McDonald's breakfast delivery to my house. I know you're
oh my God, amazing.
but then I did, which is so disgusting and gross on so many levels. And I took a picture of it and I sent it to the team. I was like, yes.
You're like, never mind the visual feast and like goddess energy we have planned for people. Here's my McDonald's breakfast. I love that.
Here are my McDonald's pancakes, and there's nothing any of you can do about it.
Amazing. Can you tell us more about why you co-founded WITCiH and about the WITCiH podcast?
Yeah, okay. So WITCiH, with everything else in my career, I get a whole bunch of opportunities, but I don't really, I haven't ever got traditional record label support. I've never really had like the traditional support around me, which is fine, because what I've had to learn, something I've had to learn as an artist, is not just about the art form and not just about production and technology and songwriting and what have you, but I've also had to learn, you know, how on a business level, how you put ideas into the world. So today is 5 years since I headlined the Queen Elizabeth Hall with my audio, with my audiovisual spectacle called
Spectacular.
Called Albion Voice Live. And when I was touring that project, the idea that music and technology and visuals and everything connecting together was just seen as, you know, people didn't really understand how to book it. They didn't understand how to present it. Now, like an AV show is completely standard, but this was, you know, what, like 2015. So it was still kind of new. There were more like dance music, DJ people doing it, but not really musicians in the way that they do now. So I realized that, okay, well, there again, I'm involved in an interdisciplinary art form. I'm getting a lot of opportunities, but a total lack of support. And also there are a lot of women who are using music and technology in a really, really interesting way. And it's really radical, and there's not really a space for that to exist, because, you know, they're not, you know, as we know from various studies that have been conducted, you know, the percentages for women in tech and women in music are still incredibly shit. So, but there's a lot of talent there. So
hi, goddess Laura, who's just joined us from LA. Hi, love.
I came from a background of alternative LGBTQ clubbing, which we all now call queer spaces. So I've come from underground mid-aughts queer spaces, and I was able to apply that understanding of how you put a scene together into the tech founder startup world. And
everything we learned as children at the Cash Point and the nag, you applied.
That's right. Everything that I learned from Electroclash and from helping to run Cash Point, I could putting into WITCiH, because, you know, technology is amazing, but it also needs to be made something which is entertaining on some level, and you know, talks are super engaging, and that I've been to so many like wonderful seminars and spoken at great seminars and things, but you really need, you know, people need to feel entertained and they need to feel a part of something. So that's when I started WITCiH, and I've curated a series of salons, and we've got WITCiH on at the Tate Modern, and
that's amazing.
I
love the way you're like, we've got it here and we've got it there.
Modern. and I spoke
it's
about.
Amazing.
I got invited to a seminar in Parliament about women in music, and I spoke about it there. And it's been a really, really exciting journey. We've had guests such as Imogen Heap, Mira Kalix, Anna Matronic, Gazelle Twin, and then I think I've been toying with the idea of doing a podcast for a while, but obviously due to the lockdown situation and due to the fact that we think that small venues will start opening up again around September, October.
Yeah, we hope.
But there's going to be a lot of backlogging, and there's, you know, the live streaming and audio podcast boom has just, you know, I mean, we have HD cameras as phones now, and there's such an ability for people to make their own content. that, yeah, I've just got really into that. Also, Grace says that she loves this crown.
Yeah, I was just
Ada made this crown, sweetheart. Ada, like lovely Ada, who I'm talking to, she made this crown, and she's made lots of stuff that I've worn. So yeah,
it's a phoenix flame crown. They're the flames of the phoenix rising from the proverbial ashes.
Yes.
Which, yeah.
Yes, like that. Oh.
So amazing.
Yeah.
And so where is the WITCiH? Yeah. So if people want to listen to the WITCiH podcast, where do they go to do that?
So you can go to Spotify and to Apple Podcasts, and it should be on all available podcatchers. It's it's I've had a lot of fun. I've recorded and edited and produced it, and yeah, I'm really proud. I'm kind of really into doing it. I think I was actually explaining to Grace earlier that when you have like a quote unquote proper press interview, usually the journalist or the publication have an angle, they usually have a scoop, they usually have some kind of a thing that they're trying to get out of you. Whereas on a podcast and on things like Instagram Lives, you're able to actually connect with a person. And I've been trying to explain to people what Instagram Live is, and it's like a live phone call. You know?
It is very much.
It's just being on like a video phone call. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time I try to wave at people, I almost unpin the comment. So I'm just. But anyway, apart from that, we're doing well. And it's so nice because this is a conversation with you, someone. You're this incredible artist, creator. You're also my friend, and it's so cool how we met through our mutual friend Christian, who also creates incredible hair. So I wondered if you could just talk about how you actually met Christian Landon.
Oh, so I think Christian used to work with a designer and live with a designer called Stefan. No, Mika. We met Christian through Mika Doll, and Mika Doll was this fabulous creature. He was on the door, really talented makeup artist, and was on the door of the Horrors had a nightclub. So
I love this. Yeah. This is already painting such a fabulous picture.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Yeah. So Mika was on the door of the Cave Club. And Mika also did the door of Cash Point for a few of them.
Oh yes.
And we loved Mika Doll, and Mika now lives up north, and it's not sort of working the look so much, but it's sort of living in another,
living life.
Living the life.
Life.
So Mika Doll was on the front cover of a Cash Point flyer, and Christian came to do the hair. And then he ended up doing the hair for a video called On My Own Again. And I think a part of why we connected is because I really love that song, We Are Siamese, from Lady and the Tramp.
Oh!
Like, I know it's problematic. And I know...
Wow, okay. But that's okay. So I connected over problematic Disney songs of yesterday. I love that. We love that.
Well,
we love a good Disney connection.
Yeah. And also, it was kind of one of my more fancier music videos, because I, for some reason, I'd gotten really into Ross Mayer, Faster Pussycat, Kill Kill. So I decided that I wanted to sit on a motorbike and feel really sexy.
Oh God, I know this. You were wearing that really stunning leather, like harness, sort of molded body with the white lines down it.
Yeah. So then Christian and I really bonded, and then we really became close when I went on tour with Roisin Murphy, and he was my sort of tour manager.
Yeah.
And we just had the best time. Like that tour was so wild. It was 2 weeks and it was wild. Yeah.
I remember going to the after party or the closing party somewhere near Carnaby Street. And I remember at one point in the night, I remember there was lots of that type of dancing where everyone's grinding on everyone, kind of. It was very fun.
Yeah, and her keyboard player gave the floor show of floor shows. It was so funny. It was so, but yeah, that tour was wild. There was a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and I think,
and then we'll quickly move on in case anyone's lawyers start to get in touch.
Oh no, I'm not going to reveal anything. But yeah, it was. A beautiful experience. So yeah.
Coming back to the present though, at the very beginning of the lockdown, you released your most recent EP of Rituals and Rites, so for the spring equinox. So please can you tell us about that?
Yes. So I was commissioned by Output Arts, who do a lot of visuals for me. This was for a project in Peckham as a part of a pagan kind of spring parade that they were doing. And when I get commissioned on like a multi-arts project, I pretty much use I use it as an opportunity to write a new piece of music, and that's like a big way in which I've worked. So sometimes I collaborate with a really talented composer called Neil Kaiser, and we put together a suite of music which was all about like the spring, and so Ostara is the goddess of the spring equinox, where she's half black, half white. Yeah, and also like Ostara also sounds a bit like Easter. I think there's a mythological connection between Ostara and Easter. She's the goddess of fertility. She's sort of half black, half white, half day, half night. And that really spoke to me.
Yes. Oh guys, and
everybody loves that piece of music, but because it's me, because I'm totally independent, for me, writing and producing and then finishing the project and just getting it up online is so big for me. I'm just happy that it's out there, and there's a video to come, and but there'll be a video coming. But I'm just so happy that it's just made and that it's out in the world. Yeah,
very much so. And if everyone follows your Spotify link, will they be able to find it?
Yes, it should be the first EP. Yes.
That is awesome. Let me just wave at gorgeous Thomas Knight.
I know, why Thomas Knight? I know, handsome Thomas Knight.
Oh, so handsome. That man is fine. Right. And so since releasing the EP and then during lockdown, what have you been up to, darling? Tell everyone. So in case they haven't been paying attention, which they are now.
Since lockdown, I've been working on a number of different projects, which I can't quite talk about, but what I can say is that I've been experimenting a lot with my sitar and various pedals. So the Line 6 DL4, the Big Muff, that really is the name of a pedal. There's another Korg monosynth. I've been writing and producing and composing a lot of music. I've also been finishing and launching the podcast. What else? Oh yes, I was also an advisor on a campaign for a very brave NHS doctor. She's called Dr. Meenal Viz. And she is she's taking a case to the High Court to pressure.
Could you type in her? Sorry to interrupt, darling. Yeah. Could you possibly type in as a comment her?
Yes, I think it is Meenal's _world. Yeah. If you
or even if we just type in her name so that you might be able to go and find her.
Yes, So I've just posted it. I'm just going to put
fab.
Meenal Viz. I've been helping and advising on a campaign to build traction towards her cause, and she's trying to fight for the rights of doctors and nurses who are on the front line, who are having to work without PPE, and she's 6 months pregnant, so it's really badass. And I very often do kind of diversity outreach for brands, for everything from alcohol brands to fashion people to now kind of hardcore activists behind the scenes. And I really enjoyed it. I really feel like I can apply my knowledge as an artist and how you reach different sections of society, as my work does.
So all of that that everything we've been talking about, all of that practice, that sort of 360-degree thinking about how you connect to people through all aspects of creating a message, all of that has come into this current moment during the pandemic.
And it's been really empowering for me, because in my 20s, I had so many people saying there's too much going on, you've got too many ideas, I don't know how to market you, I don't know how to put you, it was this big problem that there's so much of this stuff going out, or there's too much stuff going on.
And now everyone needs to do that. And now
I know
you have to do that. And I know exactly what you mean. And I think as terrible as the current situation is, but even before that, I think in the last few years, people have this whole 360-degree sort of connection and thinking is much more than it ever was before. And I think it's amazing.
So the NHS, the doctors know that I have links into the music world, into the tech world. I know a lot of music producers. I'm very active in the BAME community. I've come from a very sort of queer clubbing background. I have my fingers in all of these different pies because I love, I love artists. I love creative people. I love people. And it's been great to actually very constructively be able to take all the things about culture that I love and actually apply it to a worthy cause. And I think I'm going to be doing more for this NHS campaign. And there's a very interesting organization called We the Citizens, and they haven't launched their website yet, but I know that there's a lot of things around internet transparency and things that I'm really, really interested in. So there's going to be just very quietly in the background, there are things going on. So it's been great. I'm also a part of a really interesting tech collective called The Rattle. And as soon as lockdown happened, the entire operation just moved online. So I've been doing a lot of very interesting research into augmented reality and virtual reality and how that's going to affect the live music sector. So
and
that's
a huge topic as well. And you're like, oh, and also this huge topic. But I think that's amazing. I have been wishing I had a VR headset, because most of my exercise has been happening on my dinky little exercise bike. So I've just been closing my eyes and imagining being places. But having an actual VR headset would be 1,000 times more amazing. But I do hope that what you've just said is really inspiring for everyone watching, because I think that in this moment, I think that everyone has something of value that can come from a completely different part of your life and completely different things that you did. And you can bring it to this present moment and apply it to activism or to helping a cause or to something new that you hadn't maybe been involved with or thought about before.
It's been actually it's really opened another portal inside of me, because
I love that.
I've done little bits of stuff. I've actually been being more inspired. I led a sound art residency up in Manchester and it was 30 women and non-binary artists under the age of 30, a really fantastic organization called Brighter Sound. And it's so great. I think Grace, who I was giving a shout out earlier, she's only 17. She's a really talented music producer. And, it's when you're leading a group of young artists, it's almost like you're just opening doors for each other. My job was to sort of give an overall structure, but to give them the tools just to be able to open out and to be more of themselves. And I'm really getting so much out of it. I think it's just so important. I think of my drag mums, and I think of my sort of older disco family. And
100%.
I think of the difficult things that I went through, and I think of the things that I wish people said to me, and actually quite a few people did say to me. but you know, yeah, there was also a lot of shade, a lot of shadiness as well.
Oh, but you know, sometimes shade is also inspiring.
Yeah. Oh my God, totally. But yeah, I've been really enjoying this sort of this era of diversity and outreach and being able to help. And I feel that I can really apply very practical skills. I feel like I understand the social media, internet kind of digital landscape, everything from sort of how you release, you know, like how you release a piece of music onto the internet and what you need to do. And I feel like I can actually be help and be of service, which is so nice. You know, it feels good to be able to help. And I think that only comes to you when you're in your 30s, you know, because you've accrued.
I think, yeah, depending on someone's life experience, it comes along at different times. But I think definitely for many people, it can come along at this time in life, for sure, like 100%. Definitely for me, it didn't come along till now. Although, yeah, it sort of did and it didn't. But I think what I mean by that is when I was in my 20s, I was trying very hard to do a eco-friendly ready-to-wear brand, and that was like no one cared. It was too early, and just, you know, people liked the clothes but they didn't care about the message, or people really liked the message but they didn't understand why the clothes looked cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think honestly, I'm just glad that I'm still here for the current moment, really, even with all of its challenges, horror, and whatever is going on, just in terms of how the reaction to everything is that the conversation has opened up so much more, and people's, you know, within the bubble, obviously I'm talking about, but I think that it's, you know, when things are very comfortable and lovely, it's, you don't have as much of a reaction to it. But when things get harder, unfortunately, it can actually, you know, it's like necessity. What is that saying? Like, necessity is the mother of invention.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. The mother of invention is necessity. I do think there's a lot of truth in that, and I do think that we can harness that, and really use that as a source of hope right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you just have to keep kicking against the odds.
Definitely. So one of the last gigs the last gig, not one of the last gigs, it makes me sound like I actually am not a complete introvert, but one of the last gigs I saw before lockdown happened was seeing you being a tempura soloist. Performing with Jonny Greenwood's piece Water with the City of London Sinfonia at the South Bank. And it was so incredibly moving because I think it was only like, you know, days before lockdown was announced, and it was so emotional watching live musicians and knowing that, you know, everyone would not know when their next gig was, and I know that we just got to a really hopeful point, but I also just really wanted to talk about that night and for you to talk about it as well.
So the City of London Sinfonia was conducted by a really brilliant conductor called Robert Ames, and he is a co-founder of an orchestra called the London Contemporary Orchestra, who are really famous for their work with Jonny Greenwood and with Radiohead. So I think Robert and Jonny Greenwood, they've, you know, I think Robert conducts most of Jonny's scores and things. So to be asked to do it was just amazing and just such an honour. And, you know, I bought Radiohead The Bends from Art Price on cassette when I was 12, lol. so
oh my God, Our Price, the temple of music. Back in the day, yes.
So and I'd never played the tempura before, and it was, you know, it's a 13-minute piece, so I had to play pretty much solidly.
You'd never played that instrument before?
No. I just, I mean, I was trained in the sitar, and then he asked me to do it, and I was really freaked out. And I was like, yeah, go on, do it. You know, there's enough. You know, I had 3 months to prepare, and we had 3 days of rehearsals, which is absolutely amazing. And then I think Boris Johnson, just an hour and a half prior to us going on stage, he announced that all the theatres were going to be closed.
Oh,
from
wow.
that evening onwards. So there was a moment of 3 months of incredibly hard work being cancelled in a minute, and it was very charged. You know, you could feel people were sort of shuffling around. You know, there was a real, you know, everybody was really, really, really freaked out. Yeah. And we thought
it was emotional,
really emotional. Yeah, and from a sold out show, it was only half full, but it was still very meaningful to everybody there. And you know,
it was incredibly meaningful to everybody there. I mean, it was half sold out. In a way that was good, because everyone was pretty much socially distanced, sat apart.
Right. That's a really
even though social distancing was only a brand new word that we'd only just heard about at that point. But it was so moving. And I mean, I honestly, I've seen a lot of live music, and I love to watch, you know, contemporary music, but honestly, every single note, every musician, every sound, it was just so vivid, and I couldn't help wondering, it was such a weird state to be in, and it did feel just utterly vivid. And you, like, please describe what you were wearing, because it was stunning.
So I was wearing this winged crown, which was made by a really talented designer called Mark Yu. It's Mark_U. Really, really talented. He's one of the Monster Queen Chaos crew. And I had a starburst dress on by Kitty Joseph, who's another friend. And
it was designer. We love Kitty.
We love Kitty. But in the original contract, it was all like, all players must wear black. And I called,
like, I don't
know. I called Rob up as the conductor, and I think as soon as I asked him, we both started laughing. He's just like, no, you can wear what the fuck you like. You know what I mean? But I just thought, you know what, I've been introduced as this guest, and I had this picture in my head of like, oh my God, it's going to be this sold out gig, and it's going to be this really incredible and important moment. And it was an incredible and important moment, but for something which is, you know, you know, like all projects, they just go the way that they're going to go. Yeah. And I think nobody's ever going to forget that evening. And
no one.
And this morning in the press, it was released that they don't think they're going to be able to open the South Bank until spring 2021, which is incredibly emotional and incredibly sad, because, you know, that they've been really supportive to me. And I think
it's such a hub of like London. It's the heart of London. It's the geographical centre, really.
And it's employed so many of my friends and colleagues, and I've, you know, shared the stage at the Royal Festival Hall with the likes of Yoko Ono and Susie Sue and Boy George and Mark Almond, and it's been such a special place for me that I will email some people tomorrow and just to let you know that I'm really thinking of you. You know, this is really emotional for a lot of us, but you know, we don't know how bad the damage, you know, things
we just don't know. There's so much unknown quantity, and wherever possible, I feel like we've just got to bravely step forward with hope.
Amen. And it's we know that things are going to come back, but we don't know in what capacity they're going to come back. And you know, I mean, in order for culture to change, things have to die and pass, and that's exciting and also very sad. So
the thing is, though, during every moment, good things and bad things are passing and changing all the time. Change is a constant thing. It's just clearly at the moment it's change on a much bigger scale.
Yeah.
But in reality, that kind of change is happening. It's just usually it's different over here to the change that's happening over here. Whereas the thing that coronavirus has done to the globe is the rapid change is happening. It's the same it's the same cause of the change, and it's happening everywhere. Yeah. So it just makes us all much more globally aware of this moment. But the reality is that life is change, and it goes on, and it's about how you go with that. But to me, everything that you're doing is so incredible that you're just kind of like channeling. You really are channeling the universe, and like positive energy from the universe, and you're letting it like come through you and out into the world.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It is, as you well know, it's hard. You have to really fight for your spot. You have to really fight for your spot. But you know, it's really painful, but it's worth it, which we said at the beginning of the conversation.
If there's anything that we can take away if there's anything I think the main takeaway from this lovely conversation is that things are painful but ultimately worthwhile. And I like that because it connects beautifully with guess what, kink and BDSM. So honey, it's painful but it's worth it. That's what a great thought to start the week with. I hope everyone can be a little bit inspired by that.
It's painful but worth it.
Absolutely. So just in case, does anyone who's currently watching have any questions? Because we have a couple of minutes. Either that, if anyone wants to ask anything, or if we scroll back through the comments, was there any questions from anyone?
Scroll through the comments.
Just like, I think we're okay. But yeah, or is there any last thing, Bishi, that you wanted to talk about or to add?
No, apart from the fact that it's been really nice having this conversation.
Oh, thanks, babes.
Mark Wheeler, what does L'Oreal mean? I don't.
Yeah, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Okay, well, while he's tapping,
it's a mystery. But I think what I'll do is I will wrap this up, and then if anyone does have any questions or further comments, then please make sure that you go to the Fashion Unfucked account at Fashion Unfucked, because that is where I will be reposting this, and also I'll be posting it as well on IGTV. And I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us. So Bishi, it's an honor to experience your work. It's an honor to be your friend. Thank you so much for being my first guest.
You know, I love you. It's fine.
Oh, I love you too, babe.
It's always gonna be good because I love you, and that's not a negotiable thing.
I love it.
It's a fact.
Yes, and then the next thing I wanted to say is that I just hope that this chat gives everyone some great positive vibes for the week ahead. Remember, deities, it's painful, but it's worth it. This is the main thing we have learned today, kids. That is the letter on Sesame Street for this session. And please join us next Monday as well, when I will be talking to a fabulous embroiderer and also a friend of both mine and Bishi's, Lucy J. Newman from LJN Studio, who has made Bishi the most stunning peacock bra. So head over as well to Bishi's profile to check out that stunning creation.
You know what, it was really hard taking the shot with that bra. I thought, you know what, big respect to all the booby girls out there who were doing it. Yeah, because you know, it takes a while to set up the lights. Like, I think you must have to invest in a lot of stands and shutters and things.
You'd be amazed what you can do with the most basic technology. I honestly have started OnlyFans and am creating OnlyFans content with an iPhone SE, people. Keeping it real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the oldest iPhone. It's like creating something very now, but like with an antique. It's very quaint.
But do you use stands? Because you've got some amazing like shots of your like bikinied body. So do you have like different stands, or like do you have like a selfie stick, or like
I just have not only do I have the most basic selfie stick, but the selfie stick I have is one that I moved into an apartment, and the selfie stick was just there in the apartment.
Oh my
and
God.
I asked the like people we were renting from if it was theirs, and they were like, no, you can have it. The previous tenant left it there because they don't want it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But Best Tenant was saying, I've taped my phone to a pole before. That is so long.
I love it. Snaps for you,
So
Cass. Yes. We love it. Exactly. Reclaimed, upcycled.
Yes. There we go.
Absolutely. I love it. 100. And so, yeah, so that's, yeah. So how did we get here? I don't know. But anyway, what I will say is, big love to you, Bishi. Mwah, you beautiful goddess. And thank you to all you gorgeous deities for tuning in. And we will see you this time next week.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.